Okay. Okay. News. So, Nano Banana has a competitor. OpenAI, ChatGPT, just launched. I think they're calling it Image 1.5. I have not tested it out yet. However, might see if we can test it out in our NNN workflow that we're going to work on today. Probably not for today's portion of it, but as we go down the line with this NNN workflow, we should be able to integrate it based on what we're looking to do. So I am going to, so you can test it out in your ChatGPT console. Theoretically, it's supposed to be great like Nano Banana is. And they already had a pretty agentic AI image generator, but now it's going to be available through API calls, which is pretty cool. And then it's not, I think what I read was it's not available for enterprise use yet, but that's coming soon. But yeah, if anybody's had a chance to test out the new Nano Banana ChatGPT competitor, let me know. I'm going to probably try it out today. I think they just released it yesterday or the day before. But I think really, again, like what they're doing is it's not necessarily just that it's image generating, but it uses an agentic system to figure some of this stuff out. Whereas like it is doing things like using an agent to go and source like information to be able to generate these images without you having to put in various information, or taking in that information and the images that you're using and allowing you to edit them and reconstruct them. I don't know exactly what it's doing behind the scenes. I can take some guesses, but it is pretty good. Like if you try to test out other image editors, like the open source ones, they are not nearly as good. And so they are pretty powerful. And I do think that both the Nano Banana and OpenAI, I think, but the cool thing is like OpenAI is a little bit easier to just ChatGPT, right? You can just go to ChatGPT and use it, or a simple API call. I do think there are some companies that are offering it like quote unquote for free on their platform. Either way, I would give it a spin, see if it'll do anything for you. Definitely using these image editors have made AI image generation like way more, what would you say, commercially viable, right? Now that you're able to put in your own product or change out whatever character you want, or it does a lot better with text. I remember using image generators and text was just, there's no point in even putting text in there. It was all nonsense. So if we're here pretty soon, I keep on saying we're not too far away from AI movies, AI TV. I mean, the first AI TV show has got to be 2026. There's already theoretically ones on YouTube, but I wonder if they're going to take it any farther than that. But yeah, I think the GPT, I think they're calling it Image 1.5. Check it out. Seems pretty cool. Today, for our N8N workflow, this one's probably going to take a little bit of time. I want to try to do something. This is a little bit ambitious. We'll see how far we get. But I do think that it's a good, part of the reason why I want to do it is because it has to be done in pieces. It is going to illustrate the concept that I keep on pushing, that you should be, I think it's called Image 1.5, but it's just through ChatGPT. It's OpenAI. So if you just look up OpenAI Image 1.5, yeah. And then I think if you're in ChatGPT and you ask it to generate an image, it will just use that. But then you also can call it through APIs. And so if you want to add it to your N8N workflow, now you can. So what we're going to do is, and we'll see the actual final product we get out of this N8N workflow. The workflow itself, hopefully is going to be as good as it can get. We're going to build an N8N workflow that will generate a book for you. And this is why we're probably going to involve the image 1.5 in there. I'm probably not going to have it generate an entire book. We'll see. But we'll get all the pieces together so that if you wanted to, it would do the entire book. I think what we'll do is as we get along, probably the most I'll have it do is generate a chapter live for us. But then if you have all the chapters, then boom, you have a book and you can put it all together. There's a bunch of different reasons why, as I said, like one is that this is something that you should be doing in stages. And even though you're going to automate it, initially as you were building it, you want to go piece by piece by piece. You don't want to just, and it's not going to work for you anyway. If you were to just say, here, I'm going to put in one LLM agent, write a book. And that's not going to go so well. But we're going to have multiple stages. So the first part will be come up with the concept of the book, right? And then the next part will be take that concept and break them out into the different chapters with a concept for each chapter, right? And then from there, okay, now that you have the concept of each chapter, do a outline for that chapter. And then once you have the outline for that chapter, take each different aspect of the outline for the chapter and fill it in, right? And we're going to do something that is nonfiction. I think fiction is really tough, just because it's a lot for the book, for an AI. It's doing things in different pieces like this to be able to handle making sure that there's consistency with the characters all across the entire thing. However, what we're going to do today is a fun book about let's do physics for teenagers. We'll say that that's the concept of the book that we're going to do, and that way it can break it up into subject matter, and by doing that, it'll make it a little bit easier for us to, not have to worry about, a character's, traits carrying throughout the entire book. If we have one section that's on magnetism, that's going to be different than the section on gravity or the section on, Newton's third laws. It will possibly get a little bit repetitive in that, like, it may use the same story or like examples over and over again if you would actually put this into practice. But we will, again, for today's coaching call, we'll probably get to, my hope is to get to like sort of one of the, the first few parts. We probably won't be able to get to generate a book all the way today. But hopefully by next week, we are generating a chapter and implementing the new image generator to add some images to our chapter. At least that's the goal. We'll see, and we'll see where it goes. Okay, let's see. We have some new people on the call who are probably like, what is going on here? Patrick, I feel like maybe you're new to the coaching calls and to AI Profit Boardroom. If you want, introduce yourself, turn on your mic, drop something in the chat. If you're busy, totally understood. You got a lot of people. Oh, we got the mic.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm Patrick. I recently joined the platform about a week back.
Okay.
Based in Dubai. Been doing a lot of work on LLMs but mainly using the tools for helping businesses. So I'm really happy to find this community because of its focus more on the business uses and how to use the tools for productivity and all those kind of things. So very happy to join and share my experiences and learn from other people. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Just one more question. What inspired you to join, or what kind of AI are you specifically interested in, or like what kind of workflows are you interested in?
So I use for my clients where I'm using these vibe coding tools like Bolt and Lullable to build applications, and then I use Zapier and N8N to provide automation. So the workflows around lead generation, invoice processing, those kind of things. So standard business functions that are repetitive, and you can automate and use AI to improve. And I even got as far now as building applications for clients. Like I built an event manager application for a client, which is currently under testing using Bolt, but it also integrates with N8N to generate emails and things like this. So
Very cool.
It's going very well, yeah. And I'm already, after a week of being in on this program, I'm picking up so many interesting tools I never knew existed, and listening to what other people are up to. So that's really fantastic. Thank you very much.
Yep, no, I feel the same way. This is one of my best sources to get AI information, is the things that people bring to these coaching calls. Not just me, but like everybody else in the community, or all the different things you can see pop up. Amazing. Great to have you here, Patrick. Thank you. All the way from Dubai. That's incredible. Okay. And then I don't feel like this is the name on your birth certificate, but it is the name next to your avatar. Bimala Productions. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. This is not as bad as pronouncing people's names wrong. If you're here and you want to jump on the mic or throw something in the chat, go ahead. If you want to just chill, go for it. Let's see. Oh, you're here twice now. Uh-oh. You joined twice. Got 2 Bimala Productions. The price of 1.
Yes, sorry.
No, you don't have to. Nobody has to be sorry. Not yet, at least on the call.
I'm trying.
Your connection seems a little dodgy. You're on here 3 times now. 3 of Bimala Productions for the price of 1. I might go on to somebody else, see if you can get your connection stable. If not, it's okay. You can also drop something in the chat.
Hi, no, I'm here. I was just,
okay.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't have my settings on for camera.
Okay.
I am based in Mexico. I'm originally from Argentina. And I am looking for ways. I don't have a business right now. I'm a mom of 2 little kids, and I want to jump into the AI train and find ways to create a business to generate money with AI online, because I don't want to go to work somewhere. I want to be based at home and work in the morning and then have my kids in the afternoon after school. So I follow Julian. He has a lot of stuff. That's a little bit my drawback. That is so much information that I signed up a month ago or 2 months ago. I got overwhelmed, and now I came back to see if I can put a little bit more order and find my way in the AI browser room.
We get that a lot. I think that people who are maybe a little bit newer to AI, once it's like, oh, I thought there was just ChatGPT, and it's like, oh wow, there's an entire world here. There's so much AI. There's so many different ways you can use AI. So you're saying, and this is something that in our last coaching call that somebody brought up, and I think is one of the great things about AI potentially is hopefully AI can save you time at work so you can spend more time with your family, right? That's I think one of these things that people don't think about when they complain about AI. Amazing. So you're talking about starting a business. So do you want to have like an AI, say, consulting business, or do you want to do a business where you use AI? Do you want to build a YouTube or a social media platform? Where are you kind of thinking so far?
I mean, I signed back up because I've heard Julian say we have models where you go through the whole setup and you can make money. So I don't know if that's the case, that he has already a template. Okay, if you do ABCD, you set up all these, at the end of the pipe you make money. I'm looking to engage the least possible with people. Like I would love to have something that is automatic, instruct or construct AI to do certain tasks, and the result is the profit. I would like not to have to engage a lot with people or companies, or I want something more in the side of the passive income.
Yeah.
because of the attention I can give to, I don't think I can commit to have an agency and be dealing with customers yet, maybe in a year or two. But right now I'm looking for maybe it's a passive income way to make money with AI, or I will, I have to do stuff to set it up or to control it, but it's more on passive income. I am also into cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
And I think the combination of AI with crypto is the most amazing combination to potentially make money. So I'm interested in all that world too.
Amazing. I'm interested in all these things too. I love blockchain technology. I guess that's the more, the nicer way of saying cryptocurrencies. Bit of an uneven year, I would say, for crypto right now. Wish it could be a little bit better. You're right, though. AI and crypto can go really well hand in hand. I don't think we have anything on our platform, but one of the things that you can do is potentially, you really should vet this and test it out before you would make it go live, use it for paper trading, but using AI to trade for you, right?
Yes.
And however, I have seen things where it's like somebody just listened to ChatGPT and did the trades that it told it, and they lost all their money. And it's like, well, part of the problem is that ChatGPT is not built for doing crypto trading, right? And it does not have inherently the AI models in it, or like the processing to like figure out what a good trade is. And ChatGPT is the best BSer in the world. It'll always tell you, "Oh, that's such a great idea. Yeah. Here, I can trade for you. Here, watch this. I got it." And then there it all goes. But I think that one of the things that I really promote is I like Claude over ChatGPT. I think if you're going to do a project like this, I would highly suggest using Claude or something like that. And having a discussion with this LLM. Okay, like let's look at this. How would we go about using AI for trading, for day trading essentially? And what are the solutions? Like, start asking, like, give me the real, honest, actually numerically back, like, are there ways for me to even figure out how to do this? What would we even do? How do people do this? And allow it to not only educate you, but like build a system along with you, right? And it's like, okay, great, this sounds wonderful. How do we build this, right? And just start taking it piece by piece and doing. I have done aspects of this, but I've never really committed to it. But I'll tell you, so like if you're going to build an AI crypto trader, one of the things you need to get around or figure out is building out data sets of crypto history, like the crypto trading history, so that whatever system you build needs to learn on that data set. And that can be, some of that can cost money, getting the API connections to, say, CoinGecko or something like that.
But even like arbitrage. I was
Right.
watching somebody else's video, and it was very simple. But I mean, that's a simple strategy that it doesn't take so much learning. It's like you look in one platform and the price is $2, in the other one is 2.2. Well, you buy there, you sell in the other one. It's very basic.
Right, and then you just need to have something that alerts you, and is just checking all the different prices, and when it sees, that there's this difference. I do think, though, you need to, and I'm not an expert on this, but like you have to have a significant amount of money, right, to be able to do, because there's always a fee. So if your fee is more than the difference in the arbitrage, right, then you're not going to be making it. Anyway, so that's crypto, but and then you can put all this together. So if you want to do passive income that is not necessarily crypto, I think that what it would be is putting out content, right? Like putting out your own YouTube channel, your own Instagram, your own Twitter, your own LinkedIn, whatever. And then I saw this thing recently, and they were saying, how much will you get paid per million views for the different subject matter of your YouTube channel, right? And so it's like if you're doing something and it's about, I don't know, toys, that's one thing. But crypto, investing, financials, that pays out the most, right? So if you have a channel, I might have saved it. I was going to post it. But yeah, if you're thinking of creating a passive income channel, you could say follow your interests and your passions, which will only get you so far. But if you want to make money, the most money is made in investment, crypto, finance. And you could start building a YouTube channel or a LinkedIn profile or whatever, and start generating that content with AI. On our Tuesday call that we just had, and this is going to follow up on Friday, I was building, vibe coding out an Instagram auto commenter that would help you build your channel, as I've told people. So it's one thing to have something that's generating content for you on these different platforms. The other thing, though, is you want to have a way of commenting on other people's content. That way you'll be able to grow your channel fastest.
Why commenting on other people's posts grows your channel?
So when you start off, let's say you just start off your channel and you have, say, 20 followers. It's a brand new channel, right? And it's brand new, so you're not in the algorithm at all. Like, they are not going to they're going to show your content to other people very, very little. But if you are commenting on other people's platforms and you have good comments, they can be a little bit promotional for your own channel or whatever, but it will get way more views than your own posts. And I was bringing this up. I did this on LinkedIn. And so I want to make my LinkedIn more visible for a period of time when I was looking for work on there. And initially I was just generating posts and posting them on LinkedIn. And I would see the number of impressions it got would be like some days like 90 or like 100 or whatever, even though I have a lot of LinkedIn connections, right? And then I started commenting on other people's posts, and I would see my comments would get like 50,000 impressions sometimes. And that's getting you more visibility, helping you get connections out there, getting people to be interested in what you're doing. They might start following you. It's just a good way to get things up and going. And again, like, the algorithm is going to take months before you start showing up in it. And so that's also why I promote the concept of, setting up an end-to-end automation is great for these channels. You do want to possibly do some of it by hand at first, just to start getting not even by hand, but like use AI, but do the AI yourself instead of automating all the AI, just so that you can start getting content out there so that you can start getting in the algorithm. Because it's going to be a bit of a journey to get to where you want to go. Cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, now we're going on to, again, another person whose name, I don't think this is on their birth certificate, but this is what I got to go with. Rum Dog. Rum Dog, if you are here and you want to hop on the mic or drop something in the chat, your mic is in the lower middle of your screen, and the chat is a chatty looking thing next to two people in the lower right. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Hey, good morning. How you doing?
How are you?
Excellent. It came in a little late, but man, you're dropping gems already, so I appreciate that. So
yeah.
I don't know if this is being recorded or not. I hope there is a replay that's going to be available. So just real quick to make great use of your time. Yeah, like the last person, I kind of jumped in because I'd watched all of Julian's videos and thought it was going to be a little easier. And I haven't built my first workflow yet. And I think that's, where I kind of need a kick in the pants or a jump start. I had a great business. We're doing great. 780 some thousand followers, subscribers in our media channel, and that was before COVID, and then it all kind of went down, so I'm trying to rebuild it. And I have basically created media streaming apps, and so I pull them all together into OTT channels for independent content creators. That's kind of my background is in music promotions and independent television and film. So my business stems around getting people's projects out there and giving them distribution for their projects. And now the model needs to get people into the system. So that's the system I basically need to create, so in its simplest form. And we were originally built on blockchain. That was like 8 years ago, and now we're not. So I hear everything you're saying about it.
Fascinating. Yeah. So a couple of things.
Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Yeah, is this the nature of this conversation? Is this how it's going to go for an hour or something? You're going to go around to people there.
So what we do is we do have, these are coaching calls, right? So the first portion of it is coaching. We go around and just part of it is to get everybody to say hi, especially if they're new, and find out what's going on. And then at the end, probably pretty soon, I'm going to work on an end-to-end workflow for everybody to follow along with.
Okay, because I was saying I don't really have anything to be coached on today. I just thought, you had a project that we could.
That's going to be the second portion of this. Is the project?
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Do you want to introduce yourself really quick?
Yeah, my name's Ken, and I have this YouTube site called AI Singularity Hub, and it, initially started last year, and we really talked about the singularity and, picked up some subscribers, and then sort of,
I didn't know I was cut off.
The agency that I was running, so trying to pick that back up, but just sort of interested in seeing what you guys are doing with your agency, and see if there's any things that can be learned.
Cool. Yeah, so it seems like we have a few people on here who are looking to use AI for a YouTube channel or social media in general. Back to Rumdog, I know you had this question. So these videos are recorded. I think they might even post them on YouTube. I know that they're posted on iProfit Boardroom if you want to go back and look at some of them. On some of the previous coaching calls, we were building HeyGen, AI avatar, AI automation systems, or even video gen, going from concept to image to videos. If you put the two of those together, you could have an automated YouTube channel generator. We are also going to, in the future, work on an open source AI avatar workflow, because HeyGen does cost money, but if you can set up no matter what, you're probably paying money for an AI avatar, because even the open source one needs to be hosted for you to run it. I think the one we found takes 32 gigs of VRAM, which is a bit much for most of our workstations. But yeah, so check out some of the previous coaching calls where we're going over that stuff. And then again, today I'm going to walk us through an end-to-end workflow and kind of just show everybody how, I know that it seems maybe, daunting, or, how do I get my first one started? And you'll see, I think as I did today, and this is, if you go back to all the Thursday coaching calls, you'll see, we're using LLMs and the prompt to workflow system. And when you use those, you can definitely get your project off the ground. From there, it's up to you. That's utilizing those tools. You can definitely make pretty good progress, even if you're just a layman.
I definitely thank you for that, because part of I know a lot of people are starting a business, but when you already have a business, it's up and running, it's already global, it's even more difficult, and there's not a lot of people you can actually find that can implement and manage these things. So I definitely appreciate it. And I've got influencers basically in the wings, and they've got tens of millions of followers, and I just want to do them the right service and represent their products properly.
Sure.
So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome, man. Okay, well, without further ado, so as I said, today's end-to-end workflow is going to be creating an end-to-end workflow that will generate a book for you. The book that we probably generate through here will be, whatever. But I think with the proper prompting and a little bit of feedback to your, and a little bit of editing for yourself, you could have something that just knocks out nonfiction books for you. And then, I've seen this, start dropping them on Amazon, getting people to, review them, and you could possibly start making passive income on AI book generation. Or if you do like a smaller scale version of it, now you have something that you could potentially offer for free if it's in your niche, right? So like something that's on cryptocurrency trading, right? Or how to build your own YouTube channel, or whatever anybody else, or the AI, here's a way of generating maybe not a full book, but like a guidebook or something like that. And let's get to it. So as I said, we're going to be doing N8N for this. And all right, cool. So as I said, we use in all these coaching calls, ever since they came up with it, is the prompt to workflow system, right? So build with AI. If you have your N8N open right now and you don't have this, either that is, I think, if you're unpaid, then that's a problem, right? If you're just on the free version, I think that, I don't know if they give you that. I'm on a paid version, right? We have a subscription. But then also you need to make sure that you are up to date. Where is it? If you go to your admin panel, which is right over here, and you go to manage, and you go to this guy, I'm pretty far behind. What am I? I'm on 1.119. They already have, I would say you could just do the most stable. Either way, if this already has prompt to workflow, I need to get even more up to date. When you do this though, you have to press this, and then you're going to do save changes. I'm not going to do that right now. It is going to restart your workspace, which will make it unusable for like a few minutes, but then you can get back to using it again. And then let's just get back to our workspace. Okay, create workflow, boom. And then click this build for AI. So what you want is a pretty good prompt in here. I typically don't have it build out the entire workflow all at once. We would do it piece by piece by piece, just because the larger you make it, the more difficult it is to troubleshoot, and also the more that you're going to run into issues. As you see with the starter monthly subscription, you get 50 monthly credits. Every time basically you type something in here and you click this button, that's going to use up a credit. And that's for the AI assisted building. You also have AI Ask, right? Where you can also ask questions about your workflow and get information. It won't automatically make any changes for you. It'll just give you information, but this can be useful, especially if the build is a little bit wonky. And between these two, well, we'll say these three, because I'll show you the next part. Between AI Build, AI Ask, and my buddy Claude here, if you want, you can go with GPT. I suggest using Claude. That's, I feel like, the most logical, best when it comes to complex tasks, best when it comes to technical tasks. And these days, and I was promoting this the other day, Claude's Opus, newest version of Opus, is pretty good when it comes to these things. I feel like GPT keeps on saying that they're the best, or that they're doing the best in the benchmarks, but then I end up using Claude and it is much better. So I just asked this initial question and to figure things out. So I would like it to generate a book, right? I didn't want to use Google Docs. I have this issue right now, and I've got to get it fixed, where Google Docs does not work for me when I implement it in N8N. No matter what I do, it's not working. I got to get it troubleshot, but I wanted to do something instead of Google Docs. So I think we're going to use this here. We're going to do Markdown to DocX. Okay, all right. So I'm going to tell it Google Docs. Can you use TXT? Well, let's ask. I've never done that before, but any question you have, the AI knows the answer. And it might just say yes. I mean, some of these solutions are just TXT on some level. Google Drive, your plain text is actually simpler than other approaches. Here are your options. Oh, okay. Use Google Drive node with upload operation. Cat already check the string up to its book TXT, automatically get a shareable download link. Okay. Dropbox, OneDrive, right by name self-hosted only. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is use the markdown to PDF. Let's try to do this. All right, I want to focus on first portion of the workflow, taking a concept and generating an overview of the book, and then using that to generate book chapters. We can just stay in Google Sheets until we get to the actual chapter portion. For this first portion on OpenAI and Google Sheets, I need a prompt for and prompt to workflow. It needs to be less than 1,000. Okay, yep, because if you tell it to generate you a prompt, and you don't tell it to do less than 1,000 characters, it'll give you a prompt that's too long, unless they increased the prompt length, which I guess we could test out at some point in time. It'll cap it at 1,000 and do whatever. Right now it's using GPT-4. I'm going to actually downgrade that to GPT-4 mini, probably just for testing. If this is good and is working, I would probably, once we get to a good state, actually shift it back up to GPT-4 or even GPT-5. GPT 5.2, I think, is what we're on. I wonder if that'll actually show up. Character count 897. Okay, and away we actually, let me see. I think it did increase the prompt length because I put this in here twice and everything worked out. However, yeah, so you might be able to do longer prompts than 1,000 characters. We should try to push that. Okay, actually, really quick, just to test this out. Okay, make the prompt twice as long. I want to test out the limits of prompt. For sure, when we first started using it, it would cap it at 1,000, and I've been using that. But if I don't need to, let's see. If I try to use a longer prompt, will it work? Let's see, outputs the bottom. Yep. Okay. So they have increased the prompt length for prompt to workflow. Very cool. I should have double checked this before I put it in there. It's got a bunch of error handling nodes. We'll see how that goes. A lot of times the retry logic and the error handling is where things go sideways. I do think that you should be including those in your workflow. But it can be useful. I don't know if it will answer me how long the prompts can be. I can try, but it's going to use up one of my whatever. They'll probably look it up somewhere and find out what the answer is. I wouldn't trust Claude with whatever it says because it's untrustworthy of those things. Perplexity might have a better answer just because it is better at that type of thing. Okay, right, you're right. Let me see if it understands me. Well, yeah, because it has access to its own docs and to the community. There's a specific here. Oh, okay. All right. Well, then it did used to, unless it doesn't understand what I'm talking about. No, yeah, I don't know if it does understand what I'm talking about. It's talking about like the actual. Okay. I guess so. All right. So it says that there are no limits, but we can run into token limits for the system. Cool. And so then one of the good things about prompt to workflow is that it does give you these different like things to check off, and cool. We have to just choose our models in these different things. Oh, the other thing is, if you have your credentials set, then it automatically sets your credentials for here, which is cool. I get to choose my model. It doesn't even have, it does have 5. It has 5.2 Pro in here. Nice. And then GPT image latest. I wonder if that's going to give us the latest when we want to use that. We'll add that feature down the line. I'm going to start off with, where is it? 4.1 mini, the 4.0 mini. We'll get going in a second. 4.0 mini for now. And then once everything is all working and we're kind of going through quality, I would switch over to something that's maybe a little bit more cool. Man, there are so many different ones. Okay. And 4.0 mini. Cool. So chosen all of those, and then I do need a new Google Sheet. Call this book. And somewhere it's going to need to have the concept of the book. We'll see what I came up with for that. We keep you right by here, and then here let's write to book product sheet. Okay, from list document sheet. Yep. Okay. Oh, I get when it does that. Cool. It's much more easy when it does this. Instead of having you, so there's a version of this where you have to paste in your actual what is it, like the ID number, which you can just, it's not that big of a deal, you can just get it from right here. But when it's set up this way and you just have to choose your document from here, and then once it's done that, then you just choose this, it is just so much easier. Okay, so one down. Shoot, the one thing I don't realize is it supposed to be 2 different sheets? We're about to find out. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, so it has your book concept here. Cool. Okay. All right, I think I'm just going to use the same sheet. We'll see. Let's see how this goes. Book. Okay. And then okay. Create. Okay, it has my create 2. Oh, okay, no. One has to be book and one has to be chapter outline. Perfect. I should have just read what it said here. Interesting that it tells me this. See, copy the document ID. I don't really need to do that. We'll see. It set it up differently. So that is like one of these little, AI is a little bit goofy here. All right, let me make sure that everything is named where it's supposed to be named. Otherwise, I can run into issues. So this is supposed to be named book project. Let's see that. So this is book project. Oops. I'm going to have to switch everything over, and then we'll do file, new spreadsheet as well. And I think, what is this one? Chapter outline. Let me double check though. This is supposed to be called chapter outlines. Okay. And then when we're all done with this, N8N workflow, I will share it with everybody so that you have a copy of it, just in case you're wondering. And then that's good. I need to update both of these though, because this still says book, and there is no more book. It is book project. And then, okay. And then chapter outlines. Okay, yeah. So then I need to go to this guy, and it's no longer going to use book. It's going to use chapter outlines, and it's going to use sheet 1. Okay, your webhook endpoint. Okay, where is this? Prepare final. Oh, okay. We'll see how that goes. All right, and then let me check here. Oh, interesting. Okay, fascinating. All right, so this is going to be it's going to break the first time we run it, just FYI. But when it does, we'll at least get some errors, and then we'll feed those into ask. Are you even running right now? Waiting for me to call the test URL. Okay, fascinating. Okay. I have never done this before, so we are definitely getting into a situation. I mean, I have used post requests. I have not done it in this fashion, so we're about to find out. Okay, boom, let's ask. I might have it redo this first portion and make it a little bit simpler. That's fascinating. Okay, this might be something that I'm going to give this a whirl right now. Okay, hold on. All right, I might have it rebuilt this beginning portion, and just so that we can get past this, because I did not necessarily want this. Okay, I'm gonna have it rebuilt, which is what I thought it was going to do. And then, yeah, so Fascinating. Yeah, so I got rid of the endpoint. Or maybe I could even put it in like the workflow configuration. I would have been okay with that. I should have switched it to have it be part of the workflow configuration. And again, I might do that in between now and the next time we do this N8N. But boom, 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 boom. And again, that is so one of the things that you potentially will run into with the build system, especially I'm going a little bit fast and not even checking some of the instructions I'm giving it. And so I'm leaving myself open to this type of thing. Is it building in either a more complex way or in a way that you weren't expecting? And then now you have to sort of figure that out. But then again, especially on if you're going to be paying for this, if you have 50 credits, and you're just trying to get things figured out that first month, burn a few of the credits and, have it redo it once you start seeing some of the more problematic systems that it is setting up. Okay, I am going to have to update this a little bit in between coaching calls and then get back to everybody with that. Tomorrow, again, we will be continuing our work on an Instagram auto commenter. I think where we left off was it was having issues with doing the sign-in properly, but that should be pretty simple to get around. And then once we do that, then we can start pulling. The first step is to pull the posts that we want to comment on. And so that's where we're at now. And then again, I will update this a little bit. So the next time we're on here, we can move through and test this out. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Thank you for joining, and I will see you next time. See you.